You better have your emotions in check in this video, because you're gonna get really mad. I promise you that. We're gonna take a quick, short, deep dive into the realm of the largest and biggest gold digger you're ever gonna meet on the Twitter sphere. Twitter being one of the most toxic cesspools that you can possibly imagine on the social media realm. It is no surprise that we've run into one of the largest gold diggers who has botched everything. All their accounts, zip, gone, disappeared into the darkness. Because you know, when on Twitter, if you're a really bad person, there's one thing Twitter doesn't tolerate, whether it's justified or not, whether you're guilty or not, Twitter comes down with a hammer. It's just the way it is. But before we dive into the biggest gold digger on Twitter that you've ever seen, special thanks to our incredible sponsor of the channel today. You've heard of them before, Raycon. These are their everyday E25 earbuds, and these are their best model yet. They're comfortable. They have a total of 6-hour playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and have a wonderful noise isolating fit. They have lots of different colors and sizes to fit your ear. But if you use my discount code, buyraycon.com/Repzion, you're gonna get 15% off your order, because these are a fraction of the price of normal premium earbuds that you would buy on the market today. They're really just that amazing. Buyraycon.com/Repzion. Try your Raycons out today, and I promise you, you're not gonna regret it. Support the channel, click the link. I'm going to psst and on myself because Lee has so much money. I've literally been homeless before. Now, who exactly is Lee? Well, see, Lee is a 90-plus-year-old man who lost his wife in a car accident. The internet does what the internet does best. August 22nd, 2019, there was an actual article about the couple in which he lost his wife, Elizabeth Hopkins, 90, and husband Lee Hopkins, 87, were reported missing after he checked her out of a local facility that she had been staying for after a medical procedure. The two lived in an assisted living facility on the other side of town. They were both heavily involved in church, donating a grand piano to the congregation for several years. According to Brock, the Lee Hopkins appears to look physically fine, all things considered, but the crash has definitely taken a shake on the 87-year-old, adding that Hopkins didn't recognize his own pastor. So how exactly did this 19-year-old gold digger come in contact with this 90-year-old plus man named Lee? It just so happens that she works in the assisted living in which he was being taken care of. What a great way to prey on the elderly. Lee is confused this morning, and we handed him a glass of tea, and he said, "Do you know what is in this glass?" And we said, "It's tea." And he said, "No, it's desire." So today I think it's going to be interesting, I think. He used to be a superintendent in Memphis, and I think we woke him up suddenly, and he went back to that because he thinks Roslyn is a teacher that he thinks I'm a student, and he's giving us a speech about needing to get a job done. Yeah, typically when people hit in their 90s and they're in an assisted living home, they do a thing with dementia where your cognitive thought process starts to go as you go back in history, back in the good times, back in the times with your wife, with your old diner, your old jobs, your old good solid memories that you have. It's very common when elderly people start to lose their memory and lose their cognitive ability the older they get. Now, I'm no expert, but it should be really important that knowing this information about the cognitive decaying of an old man, using yourself in a position to take advantage of that is really ethically and morally screwed up, in my opinion. Maybe there's some gold diggers watching this video who will justify this with, "Oh, he's old and senile. There's nothing wrong with taking advantage of the elderly." Yes, there is. Why am I considering this? He's 90 years old. What is wrong with me? Friend responds, "Do it! Get that bag, sis! Get that bag!" He said, "You better not wear heels to our wedding." And I said, "Don't worry, they're small." So here's a photo of Lee getting married to this 19-year-old gold digger who was taking care of him. Someone replies, "I'm confused. What is going on here?" She replies, "What does it look like? I got married to an old man. It's pretty straightforward." Now, naturally, given her previous tweets on the social media realm, people started asking her some questions and kind of, hammering her like, "Wait, what's going on here? What's your intentions, lady? He has dementia. How is that consensual? Do you know anything about dementia, or do you just assume it's all at stage 7 Alzheimer's? Usually he just doesn't know what day of the month it is. And he calls me Ola. His cognitive state is not a question at all." The fact that he's calling you Ola, or maybe it was some girlfriend he had back all the way, the fact that he's not calling you by your name is proof that that there is a cognitive issue that's going on here with his age. It's very common. Very high percentage of people who reach age 90 go through this cognitive decay. He's going back to his superintendents giving speeches, for God's sake. He's calling you a different name. This is already proof enough that he's not all there mentally, and you're using that as an opportunity to prey on this man. So something that made me laugh was just the clear fakeness of this gold digger, who is very, very transparent in her thoughts, and has really strong ethical, moral standards for what right and wrong is. I mean, after all, she does say, I wish I could just start an OnlyFans because I don't care about people seeing me woo-woo, but for some reason I have a thing about taking money from people. Like, you feel bad for taking money from people? What's even worse about this situation is how disrespectful she is to her now married partner, who is 90 plus years old, even making references and joking about his memory and thought process of decay by saying things like this. Cook the corn out of me in my replies. Okay, I'll send you your veggies. I'm telling Lee, what's he gonna do? Forget? So she's making fun of the guy who she's taken advantage of publicly about him not actually being all there cognitively. How screwed up is that? Now, as you can see here, these are tweets that no longer exist because she deleted her Twitter account. But hey, here we are in a thread because you can still see replies to her. These are her friends, mind you. So this 19-year-old gold digger has quality friendships, quality relationships, and quality marriages, if she ever gets married again, because her friends are encouraging her to do this type of thing. Like, for the love of Christ, man, if I had a friend encouraging me to take advantage of somebody like this, I would drop him in a heartbeat. This is wrong. Yeah, but you and me are gonna take the inheritance and leave our dreams with Michael and Max, IG. What if I accidentally drop his cryogenic container? Low-key, I don't know the ages of these people. Well, I know the age of the gold digger. She was born in the 2000s. But I'm of the belief, and I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I'm really of the belief that at this point, people who are born after the year 2000 seem to have this moral degeneracy in which they have no moral standards for what is right, what is wrong, what you shouldn't do, ethics, morality, values, just standards in general. They don't have any, and I'm not trying to generalize everybody here, but it just seems that way to me. It's just a personal preference that the older I get, the more I see of this type of behavior, and I'm just, it disappoints me. It discourages me. It's like, do I really want to bring children in this world? Yes, I want kids one day, but I'm gonna have to, like, raise them and teach them so many good things about how to treat people to not make them like this, because, man, if I'm a future parent and my child turns out like this, you're out. Okay, you're out. Get away from me. I become an adult and you're doing stuff like this. I will not support you. I just won't. Not after you're 18. You're out. You think taking advantage of old people's fun and games, then by all means, I raised you wrong and that's my fault as a parent, I guess. I don't know. Some private DMs on the Twitter sphere. She says, I asked him what he actually wants out of a relationship, and we talked about the emotional aspect, and then he says that if he wants to do any woo-woo stuff, that he wants me to feel comfortable talking to him about him with that. He said he could not get me pregnant because he had a surgery from cancer that makes it where he cannot woo-woo, which I think is good news. I'd like to stay for a few more months at least if I can. Wait, so marriage within the next year? I didn't realize it was that serious. Michael, if we get married, I would be the sole person who gets his inheritance. Read that again. I will be the sole person who gets his inheritance. Now, she already knows that he has a lot of money. He was a hard-working man. His wife passed away, so he has a lot of stuff. And from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have a trust fund set up to when your ex-wife passes away and that was supposed to go to her, then if you get married to somebody, that trust fund, that inheritance, automatically goes to the next person in line who you're married to, unless you specify otherwise on the inheritance, I believe. I don't actually know the deep specifics of this, but she seems to have it already under wraps on what exactly she's planning on doing. Nobody can call me a gold digger because I'm spending almost $4,000 on Lee's wedding band, and God forbid this man could literally pass away next week. Lee and I are going to a few jewelers tomorrow to see if we can find a way to take the diamonds from his ring and his late wife and put them in his wedding ring for me, that I'm really excited that's such a precious and loving way to honor both of us. Oh, that's so sweet. What pure, genuine, sincere thoughts from the Miss 19-year-old gold digger. No, you're literally making him take his ex-wife married of 20 plus years, and you're dismantling the diamonds in it, which were some pretty big diamonds from what I can tell, and you're replacing it in your own ring. I wonder, did you suggest this to him? Or was it Lee who brought this idea? I think it was probably you, Missy. Because there's nothing better than a woman like you trying to show off her value. Look at me, I have all these expensive diamond ring that I manipulated or took advantage of this old senile man to do this for me so I can have more money, more items, more materialistic things, more of that inheritance. What do you guys think of this? Is this real life? Is this really happening? The answer is yes. And depending on how this develops since you ran off the internet, I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this story because I find this really, really deplorable. This isn't okay. In what world can anybody stand there and say, do this, without feeling some sort of guilt or conscience about taking advantage of an elderly man or woman? Is this really the new generation of children, like, born in the 2000 era, that this is what they think's okay and acceptable, and the friends are just encouraging them along to go with it? Man, that's sad. It's screwed up. It's screwed up to the max. But yeah, guys, that's it. This is the biggest gold digger I've ever seen on Twitter. She's no longer on Twitter. God forbid. But somehow, some way, I hope she does not exceed in taking this person's inheritance, but as the way that I see it, she knows exactly what she's doing, and I think that she's going to be accomplish it, and I think this should be illegal for somebody to do this, but apparently, there's no way I can stop it. I don't have any power to stop this. If I did, I absolutely would, but hey, all I can really do is talk about it, so that's what I'm doing. So, thanks for watching this video. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Repzion. My gaming channel is also linked below. I'm posting Twitch clips on there relatively soon. I stream every other day on Twitch randomly in the evening. Love for you guys to stop by, chill, hang out with me. Until next time, see you guys next week.